landscaping and the placement of buildings into one big screen. This allowed us to change the usability to make it much easier to work with both, but before new tools. We wanted to allow players to use their creativity to make the yards the way they want with new content. That's why we added hundreds of new placeables. I talked about creativity, walls of different sizes and functionalities. Some come with solar panels and others with vehicle service points. And they even have different colors. We also have many new storage buildings, from Meridian, Unia, any other building. You start by placing a pole and just pulling it away, and it will create any fence on any hill. It can create
and all that stuff here. Then you have production, so everything for the production chains.
Yeah,
as Marius explained.
Factories, your placeable selling stations, of course, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you have the animals, so all the pens. Yeah, von Rudolf Herrmann. Here, then the next step would be decorations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jos talked a little about it in the video, this personal project. But yeah, we've seen it earlier. We had this is the area where we have our cow husbandry placed already. And if you're a player and say, okay.
A bit, separated. And also this hedge here.
Mm-hmm. And gates as well.
Gates as well,
It's not only fences, but you can place gates, of course, that are interactive.
Yeah, so you can open them and close them. And just place here a fence. So you can, just click with the mouse, have multiple points.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you click on the right mouse button, you finish the fence. So now we would have placed it.
Beautiful, Stefan. Very beautiful. But that's the nice thing. You can build to whatever your heart's content, basically.
So I'm a really creative guy, you see. But if you don't like it, you can also remove it.
Yeah.
So you got here that function. Button. And then you can easily remove everything.
If you misclicked something, it's just easy click to get something back, and then you're back where you started at, basically.
And you can also just remove buildings. So if you click here, I don't want to remove it because it looks really nice, but it's also marked red. So if you click on it, it will just sell the building. So it's way more easy to sell the correct building.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of a silo or a shed, or if you
just
click on the demolish button and
can just sell it,
basically.
Yeah.
And look at that. This is like a perfect example. Now it's basically directly placed within the build mode menu, just because it makes sense to have it there, of course.
Yeah. So we can just here put some grass there. Then we got rid of the concrete, and we can also just put some grass here.
Exactly, paint some grass there. The prices are not final, of course.
Yeah.
These are for demonstration purposes. We can also use we have trees now as well in the game. So if you want to plant some of these, that's possible.
Yeah, so just decorate it here a bit more so that it looks more beautiful. Yeah, there's also the power line. Yeah. It's maybe not the best way to place them.
That's a safety hazard.
Grass.
Yeah. And as always, if you have any questions regarding the build mode, there's going to be a cue to basically use it as a brush and create the terrain and shape the world as you see fit, basically.
Yeah, so the controls are really easy here. So if you just sculpt it here a bit, you can just click with the mouse on painting and then paint it like you want. So it's really a lot more easier than before.
Intuitive. It's all in one place and it makes switching.
Exactly.
It's much easier now to spend hours in this one menu and change the map as you want to. All right, I think that's all.
So you'll be able to place them in these beautiful rows and then use new popular among our US-based players and very big in general in American agriculture. And grapes and olives, on the other hand, they bring something completely new to the game in the way that they're handled and harvested. It's just something that we're not used to in previous parts of the Farming Simulator series entries. Also, they tie in. Bringing new crop types into a game is always a real challenge, especially with something such complex like grapes and olives. design system was we had to think about how are we going to be enable the player to place them in the game. And this was actually a very big inspiration behind the whole buildings, place vines, and more. Grapes and olives, the whole handling process, the harvesting, and the machinery used, it's all a very new, exciting gameplay aspect of Farming Simulator 22. Our vines simply navigated across these vines. It'll then shake off the olives and grapes, which you can then of course use to further process them or sell them directly. And you can use specialized sprayers that drive along these vines to protect or also fertilize your vines, of course. As you can see, the width between these vines, once you've done next year, since you don't have to like place the vines again or anything, they will just grow back naturally. It belongs to you, and process it further into olive oil. Grapes. Grapes can be either refined to grape juice, which is perfectly suitable for all ages, or you can further process them into raisins and then bring them to the cereal factory, for example. That will then other grain types in the game, so you can sell it at different selling stations. References for the new machines. They also played a very important advisory role in getting these vines and their design just right.
Whether you're driving on a flat surface, or you're driving uphill, or you're carrying a trailer that weighs a ton, you're going to hear many changes in the vehicle engine sound. We have added hopefully you can see, however, at maximum velocity and with the increased forward momentum, the engine has less resistance, so you hear very little load sound and much more of the transmission sound. As we drive over uneven terrain, we can hear the tone of the engine constantly shift as it adapts to the various changes in load. When using a vehicle, the applicant engine tone. Furthermore, we also the indoor vehicle perspective, making the wipers on the front, side and back of the cabin. You will actually hear the sounds coming from those exact locations. For all vehicles that have different
sounds, such as when a trailer's tailgate opens,
eine Heckklappe, die sich öffnet beim Trailer, oder
or various hydraulic sounds, or what we call the metal impact sounds of metal hitting metal.
wenn eben Metall auf Metall prallt. Und diese Sound
Along the timeline. We can then use coding to select a point in time on this timeline and set which sound should play.
Zum Beispiel beim Starten der
For example, when starting a trailer's dumping animation, you hear the tailgates opening, the different metal impact sounds of metal hitting metal, and finally the hydraulic sound of the cylinder. In order to be able to tractor or another vehicle, the engine isn't the only thing you hear. You also hear the rattling or shaking of different objects in the cabin, such as the seat, which is constantly moving, or the gear shift, which gently swings to the left and right when driving. In order to imitate the soundness of the terrain, the loop sounds more intense or weaker. It's pitched higher or lower, becomes louder, quieter, or even completely silent when driving over smooth terrain.